In this video, I'm going to be breaking down practical applications of how real estate agents can use AI and automation tools that are available today to improve their business. It's difficult to know where to actually use this tech, so that's what I'm going to be doing. Breaking down every stage of the selling process and giving you examples at each and every single touch point. For full transparency, I'm a software engineer, not an estate agent. I've just spent time with agents doing this research. My personal exposure has been to the UK market, but these suggestions should be generic. I'm only going to be focusing on what is possible today using tools on the right hand side. You could figure out how to work yourself or have somebody build for you. These AI tools have improved dramatically over the past 18 months. If you've used something like ChatGPT or Claude, tried to get it to write an email and thought that's cool, but not quite there, it really came a long way. And we can access this technology behind these tools and use them in our own workflows. The second big thing is no code and low code tools have made making custom software a lot quicker, which means a lot cheaper and a lot more accessible to smaller businesses. I previously worked for a large multinational dev agency, a large energy client. We built something for them that was really simple. It was lead validation that got put into a Salesforce CRM, and that cost them £400,000, which at the time was nearly $500,000. And today, that would be a lot more affordable. You could do something exactly like they had with the same quality for 1/10 of the price. Or if you needed something 80% of the way there, you could get a freelancer to do that for 1/100th of the price. It just opens us up to automating a lot of things that were not possible to automate 18 months ago. I just want to get us on the same page of what improving your business means, so that when I give examples, we can link it back to some of these. The first thing you can do is obviously increase revenue, winning more vendors, or selling a property faster. The second is reduce cost. That is spending less money on outsourced services or reducing the staff that you need for admin tasks. The third thing you can do is save time, and especially if you link this back to the admin stuff, it allows you to scale without needing more overhead. It also frees you up to do more of a personal touch, the things that you couldn't normally do. And third, maybe not that relevant for a cold-hearted businessman, but it can make work more enjoyable, doing less of the boring stuff. Let's break down every step of the sales process. What we're looking at here is anything where message comes in and message comes out, or any place that you need to read or write lots of text. Those are the main things we're looking for. I broke down the process into 10 different stages. First stage we're going to look at here is getting more vendors. This is directly increasing revenue. The first one is attracting vendors. This is general marketing. It's a bit outside the scope of this because there's just so much that can be done. I think I'll do another video in the future, but I don't want to leave you empty-handed. Something specific that can be done with AI that would be difficult to do before is property crawling with a personal outreach. Crawl through expired listings or for sale by owner properties, looking through something like Rightmove. Get all of those properties into a spreadsheet or a CRM. Write personalized message based on what you can do and their property, and then send that message directly to them. At the moment, something people feel a bit more comfortable with is, instead of directly sending the message, putting it into an outbox so that you can then decide if you want to send it yourself. In a video here from a guy, Ian Preston, he is an estate agent, quite tech forward in the UK, and also runs a CRM business. This video is really good. I'll link it below to the section where he speaks about stuff like this. But just wanted to show one little thing that he shows here is they'd set up AI to directly message someone back and forth about the property that they were not selling with him currently, and then followed up with them 4 months time or 4 weeks time when the property hadn't sold, and continued that conversation to try and close them and get them into being a client. This is something that's really cool that would have been difficult, if not impossible, to do before this technology. We next look at the vendor's first contact with you. We can see more things here. One that we can do here is instant personalized responses to vendor leads that come in. If a lead comes in through email, WhatsApp, Rightmove, chatbot on your website, no matter where it is, the message comes in, you can then use AI to scan that, figure out, is this a vendor lead? And then respond instantly with something that is custom to their message. If you need specific details from them to figure out if they're a good lead, and they've not included those, you could follow up with that question asking them. Or if it's clear that they're a lead, then you can send them a link directly to suggest a time for you to go and view the property. And where this is useful, and this comes from Ian Preston's presentation, that a lead that is responded to within 28 seconds, 40% more likely to convert than within 4 minutes, because the person is on their phone, they're wherever that they've seen you. If you can respond before they've left that device, they're more likely to follow up. If this feels a bit too much, having something respond instantly, what you could do is have custom notifications when a vendor lead comes in, instantly knowing when a good lead comes in instead of it getting lost in the email box. What you could do is scan these emails, scan these inputs, and then prioritize it or send you a text or something so that you can act really fast on that lead. Something else you can do is voice bots that receive calls, especially if all of your lines are busy or it's out of hours and people today still like phoning up. Instead of just leave a message, you can ask them for exact details, and then that will write that up into an email instead of you having to listen through with this left message. It'll ask them follow-up questions if required and then give you that in text. Something else that some people like doing at the moment is automated follow-up calls. This is a bit of a grey area at the moment, but it is still fully legal. You can use AI bots to phone people up after this lead comes in. They've got a phone number, directly phone them up, ask them some follow-up questions. And again, it's a bit more personal, and some people are liking this at the moment. The third stage of the process is actually closing the vendor. You've got this lead in, you've been to their property, getting them to actually become a client of your own. Something we can do here is customized proposal documents. If you're sending generic proposal documents explaining why you're great, especially what you can sell in the area, instead, as you're walking around the property, have a form on your phone, fill in some details about the property in specific boxes. AI can then reword these sections that you've done. You can have a template for your proposal document with things that are going to be generic anyway, how long you've been in business, but place the things specific to their property and why you think you could sell it into this template and then send that directly to them. That's way more of a personalized touch that you could do without AI. It just takes a lot longer. Something else is follow-up messages. People are quite forgetful. Life gets in the way. Once you've seen a client, sent them a proposal, automate personalized follow-up messages, and personalized is the key for all of that. Once you've got details, you can get personalized messages for people and then reminding them how you could do a great job of selling their specific property, not just that you're a great estate agent, that you could actually do something with their property. We look at the next stage of the process. It is listing properties and marketing properties. Here, we can increase revenue if we can sell the property faster. We can reduce cost in a few places and we can save time. Listing properties. First of all, I'm aware most CRMs are already pretty good here. They do listing on different platforms, holding all of the details, but that doesn't mean that there's nothing we can do here. Something you can do is AI-driven staging. Because this is complex, it's likely to better to use an off-the-shelf solution here, but wanted to mention what can be done. You take photos of the property as is, and then you can use AI to stage it and show potential customers what it could be. This is an image here from homedesign.ai. And it shows on the left-hand side, the actual images, and on the right-hand side, the AI staged images. Another thing we can do here is custom alerts or custom dashboards. You don't want any of your properties to be lost in the noise. And automation can look through your CRM of the properties you have and the activity on them, and then alert you of ones that have had poor performance so you can give it some extra love. Another thing we can do here is AI-powered descriptions of the property. I'm aware that a few CRMs have already got this built in, and every example I've seen has been okay at best because the CRM has to make it generic. If you know what you're doing with this technology, this can be made a lot better. Again, selling not only what the property is, but what it could be, and then what you specifically can do with it. Moving on, the next stage is marketing a property. Again, this is general marketing, a bit too much to handle here, but let's give you some examples anyway. Something that you can do specific to property is write and personalize email outreach. If you've got a client list of developers or investors especially, you could have a list of bios for those people. Every time that a new property comes into your sphere, use AI to check through all of their bios on the property, trying to get a match, and then also writing a personalized message for that person saying why this property would be good for them. Another thing you could do is automate ad copy. If you're posting on social media or Facebook ads or anything like that, this is a prime candidate for things that can be automated and use AI to assist writing in your own voice. And then another little one is scheduling social media content, automating posting on the correct days, the correct times, all that sort of things. Moving on to handling inquiries and the whole viewing process, this entire thing is primarily about saving time on admin. If we look at handling inquiries, first of all, I'm sure you spent a lot of time answering simple questions on the phone, email, or WhatsApp. First thing that you can do here is get those messages prioritized. Get an LLM with some automation to read through an email and prioritize it. If it's a vendor lead, then that's top priority. If it's a booking today, tomorrow, if it's just a simple question, just have those clear so that people aren't wasting time reading through, finding what needs to be done now, what can wait a few hours. Another thing you can do is quick responses. Again, it reads through these messages, and if you have the data to already answer them, if you have the details about the property or in an FAQ in your CRM, and you can link that up, have it write a response to their question, personalized based on the data that you have, and either send that straight back, or as I mentioned previously, put that into an outbox so that you just have to make some tweaks, human in the loop, click send. Very similar to this is smarter chatbots. Let's be honest, most websites that use chatbots are still pretty rubbish, but there is a lot that can be done here, especially if you can link it up to your own data. Just like handling inquiries, organizing and dealing with viewings and feedback around viewings is another area that can take a lot of time. So something we can do here is automating the viewing schedules. If in your case you have to do back and forth between seller and buyer on organized viewings, then what you could do is automate a message to the vendors. They enter which times they're available that week, fills into a calendar. And then when a new viewing lead comes in, just send them a link to book in at a time that suits, and then also provides the ability to reschedule. Tools like Calendly linked up with some things would work wonderful here. Now is viewing reminder messages. Some CRMs have this built in, but if yours doesn't, there's no need to go and change to a new full CRM. You could custom build this, sending reminders to both the seller and the buyer of the times, just ensuring everything runs smoothly. You could also have real-time feedback requests, automating the messages after the viewer has been to see the property. They fill in some boxes that then enters into a CRM. You can summarize if there have been multiple viewings with similar objections, and then send all of this to the vendor, or use this yourself to make adjustments. And if people entering forms is too difficult, another thing you could do is use voice bots to call them up in just the similar way to entering in a form. The voice bot asks them questions and then fills this in and gets that there if people are less likely to reply to messages. The next stage of this process is negotiations and contracts, and what we're aiming to do here is save time and possibly reduce the amount of outsourcing. Something simple we could set up is deadline management. Again, if your CRM does not have this built in, is automate reminders for contract milestones, ensuring all parties know what they need to do when, just trying to reduce delays. Another thing we could do is real-time updates and summaries, a workflow to notify vendors of new offer changes, including summaries of what the offer is. But in this entire section, if you know how to use ChatGPT in Claude, they're going to give you a lot of bang for your buck, allowing you to improve your counter offer messaging with selling points for the specific property, or reviewing documents. Anything that you've got admin staff that are looking through document, checking for little things, those are things that could likely be automated. And the final stage of this process is completion and post-sale. Again, here we're looking to save time, but if you can provide a really good service, this is a chance to increase revenue as well. First and most simple is checklists and final notifications, similar to previous steps, generating tailored checklists for closing tasks, automating all the notifications, personalized thank you follow-up messages. This is something that if you can save time in other places, you could do yourself. Setting up testimonial and referral campaigns, automating the sending of messages, saying why you liked working with them, what was great about their property, and asking for a referral for anyone else. And again, client retention is something that we could automate here. If the prices change in a year's time, especially if you've got investors or anyone that's looking to buy property for buy to let, this is an area that you can keep on top of things and automate messages personalized to the person, trying to bring in more business down the line. And that's us. We've been through all 10 stages of this process, including what you do after completion. Just to recap some of the things we've covered. For increasing revenue, what we can do is respond faster and better to leads. We can improve the service to close more of those leads. We can improve the listings to try and sell them faster. When it comes to reducing costs, we can write to a higher quality, so there's less need to outsource that writing. And you can also have less people on the phone or in admin tasks, reducing your cost there. And when it comes to saving time, we've given lots and lots of examples. Automating any routine tasks and flows, especially anything that reduces your time inside an email box. This is where LLMs are really great, reducing the amount of time reading through lots of messages. If there's anything you think I've missed, not sure how this fits into your specific flow, or you want to chat about anything AI, even if you just think I'm chatting a load of rubbish, please reach out, let me know. I'm filming this in January 2025. I'm fully booked for at least the next 6 months, so I can't build any of this for you. But I do know people building in this space, so reach out. We'd love to chat with you, get to know what you're working on, see if there's anything I can do to help.